Hello, I'm Father George Salzman here at the Harvard Catholic Center. Yesterday morning I had the 8 o'clock Mass across the way in St. Paul's Church. And immediately after, students left en masse for the March for Life down in Washington, D.C. There they joined people for Mass at the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, and then would march to celebrate and to demand respect for life from the beginning in conception to its natural end and natural death. We join forces in our prayers here, and also, of course, we have a program for instance, women facing a pregnancy crisis, to be a material support for them out of concern. So it's so important that we reach out and help other people in that. Now that's a matter of inclusion, and so was our holiday, our national holiday on Monday of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'd refer you to Cardinal Sean's pointed remarks at the time of the death and murder of George Floyd. And his remarks are very, very helpful in giving us a focus. And that, of course, was the focus that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had in all his work, in terms of saying that people of color are obviously worthy of full civil rights and worthy of full respect as persons, to make sure that we accord them that, we work for that, as indeed he did. Once again, inclusion, the man. Now last week, our second reading, our epistle, the letter of Paul, was 1 Corinthians. We read from the 12th chapter. We only read a few verses, but there are different gifts but the same Spirit, different ministries but the same Lord, different works but the same God who accomplishes all of them in every one. And there you see a great diversity of things, but traced back into the unity of God. And so all these different things come from the one God, but it creates our diversity, doesn't it? But how important that we all be welcomed in here at Mass and all our other events. And the reading, if you continue on in 1 Corinthians 12, past the reading for last Sunday, that section, you go on to see how there are different people with different abilities. Some are almost miracle workers, very powerful. Some are prophets. Some have great wisdom. Some have great knowledge. Some are great interpreters. We certainly need good interpreters now. We certainly need prophets now. And so all of them are included. And that's really, in a sense, what the church is all about. There's that great acronym that's used by James Joyce, HCE, the meaning being, here comes everybody. And I think you'll agree with me in its best moments. The Catholic Church has included the rich, the poor, the north, the south, the east, the west, everybody of every shape and size and color. That's exactly what being a Catholic Christian means, that no one's excluded. It's not for a particular social class. It's for everybody, and we have our concern. We are all concerned for everybody. And more to the point, we all desperately need each other, because if we read the rest of 1 Corinthians 12, it's about the mystical body. And so one part of the body, the eye can't say to the foot, we don't need you, or the foot to the eye. We need everybody, indeed. Here comes everybody. This Monday, it'll be the feast of St. Francis de Sales. And Francis de Sales was someone who had a pivotal influence in the Catholic Church, because there, around 1600, he, as a doctor of the church, he became later in recognition, and then also as a great guide of souls, so a spiritual director, a counselor. He was anxious to take everyone seriously. So he would take people at court and women seriously. He would take people who were busy soldiers, and all these people were excluded from being saints. The only people in that time thought to be called to be saints were those, in a sense, behind bars and cloistered, so nuns and monks. But his view finally triumphed only at Vatican II. But it triumphed so fully that everyone's called to be a saint that now we almost take it as axiomatic. We take it as obvious. It wasn't always so. But it's also important that we, in real terms, see ourselves called, but see everyone else and welcome them in. We really need to welcome everyone here to this community. Bring everyone to Mass at St. Paul's every Sunday. So we become a fully fledged community. We become the full and entire body of Christ. And so we become that many-sided thing, a university, which the newly sainted St. John Henry Cardinal Newman spoke so well of, so that we come to realize that. We have many programs coming up. We have a whole new semester coming up. And so for the grad students in all those different professional schools, so many-sided, and the young professionals starting out with different careers, we are all here, we all gather together, and we all prove every month that lawyers and chemical engineers are people too, and so people in every other profession. I'd like to welcome everybody, and always feel welcome here yourself. May God bless you.